Buddy. I'm so glad to see you guys. I'm going to be doing a quick recap of day 3 of the workshop. I know it's been a little bit, but the reason why I waited is because we had an encore day on Sunday. So I just wanted to give everybody who wanted to be there live a chance. So if you don't know me, I'm Krista. I do dementia educational content, and for the past week, we started on the 22nd. We went through the 24th and had an encore on the 27th. Have been doing a workshop series called the Three Key Dementia Do's and Don'ts. So, in this live, I'm going to be recapping a little bit about what we learned, as well as sharing with you guys our new community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, that is open for new members until April 30th at midnight when our doors closed. We are so, so excited. We only open for new members a couple times a year. We have all kinds of awesome resources within our community. We have monthly workshops. We have cheat sheets, checklists, guides, like anything you can think of. A ton of experts in there, giving you all kinds of information you could possibly want. Coaching. A bunch of short video demonstrations, all kinds of awesome things. So again, if that's at all interesting to you, go to dementiasuccesspath.com or or dementiasuccesspath.com/workshop. All right. So our in the day 3 of our workshop series, we talked about the number one dementia caregiver mistake, and that is uh, folks failing to plan ahead. So there are two parts to this. So today I'm going to be going over the first part where a lot of folks fail to plan ahead for some of the most common challenging behaviors. And we went over 3 challenges that a lot of caregivers don't think of when they are first thrown into this, whether it's professional or family caregiving. So the 3 ones we talked about and did role plays and demonstrations on were refusals, false beliefs, and the loss of being able to physically take care of themselves and language. So first one we talked about is false beliefs. Now, this can be a doozy for folks. And the reason why is because, kind of like in the other days, where we were talking about mistakes caregivers make, like using logic, evidence of reason, or correcting them, is that a lot of folks just get kind of nervous trying to get their person to understand that what they believe isn't true. And I think what's there, I think this isn't talked about, and I don't even know if I talked about this in the workshop series, truthfully speaking. You don't have to convince them, and you also don't need them to do what you say that they have to do, like, the second you ask them to, most of the time. Uh, I think a lot of times it's like this invisible pressure, like we're bad caregivers if like they don't listen to us right away. I would approach your person with dementia with some curiosity. So that's the first tip I gave in the workshop is I talked about how you want to ask them like 1 to 2 simple questions, especially if they're, maybe a little bit agitated, but mostly calm, can still hear you. Like if someone's really upset, they're not listening to a word that you're saying. That's just the truth. So that is definitely how you should approach your person with dementia, especially if they have a false belief, um, or if they're refusing something that you are asking them to do. One question that came up in the workshop that was talked about is medication refusal. And I think, again, approaching this from an attitude of curiosity versus, how can I make them do it? I mean, first ask yourself this question as the caregiver: Do they need to be on so many medications? I think it's really easy for a lot of elderly people, just in general, to fall into uh, a chasm of different medications. So maybe they're prescribed meds for one thing, and then they got side effects, and they were prescribed medication to help said side effect, and so on and so on and so forth. So that's one thing you could get curious about. Maybe they're refusing to take the medication because there's just too many of them. Maybe it's just not making them feel good. Yeah, so get curious. Why are we not wanting to take the medications? start there. It could be that it just is uncomfortable to swallow it. So maybe get curious and ask the doctor, like, hey, again, do not do this on your own. Always ask a doctor before you alter medications or alter like how you give them, period. Um, just as a safety protocol. But ask your doctor, hey, can this medication be taken with food? Can this medication be crushed? Does this medication come in liquid form? Just to make that swallowing a little bit easier. Uh, so that's another way that you can get curious around the medication issue. The other thing could be too that, if your person with dementia sees themselves as like a much younger person, it's possible that they just don't remember needing to take so many meds. So maybe you describe them as vitamins and you take your medication while they take their medication. So they're not doing it by themselves. No matter what is there, what approach you take, what's there is that we don't want to just put all our focus on like we have to get our person with dementia to do everything that we need them to do so that our lives will be easier. Understand that it is okay to ask questions, to take time, to rearrange some stuff in order to make things easier in the long run, and to give your person more autonomy. So uh, I think that would really, really help and make things a lot easier when it comes to the refusal front. As far as false beliefs go, like obviously the most common is I want to go home, but it could be like, hey, you stole my keys, uh, or like I need to go to work. Like the false beliefs can run like a huge gamut of different topics here, but ultimately what's there with the false belief is again you want to get curious and quite frankly uh it's not going to help you in the long run to try to convince your person with dementia of something they don't already believe uh because of how dementia works in the brain just in general it just doesn't work to try to convince them of something else. They can't take in new information. They're just working with the information their brain has already given them. So it works better to live and communicate with them within their belief system already. Uh, yeah, I mean, so I'd say that's mainly the gist of what we talked about in the workshop. I'd be curious too if you guys have any questions. Anyone who are watching live, or just watching the replay of this as well. I'm happy to answer any questions. Additionally, I know we had some folks that were asking questions in the workshop as well that I didn't necessarily get to. So I'm happy to answer those questions as well. But real quick too, for anybody who is really struggling with caregiving, and or even if like let's say you just got a recent diagnosis, you just start feel overwhelmed with all the things that you have to do. Because I think what most people don't talk about and most people don't plan for with caregiving is that it is going to be a responsibility over someone's entire life. So we're talking legal concerns, financial concerns, medical concerns, housing concerns, like all kinds of stuff that can just feel so overwhelming. And it can be really difficult to find all the resources and the experts that you might need along your journey. So, again, our membership community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, gives you all the tools that you could possibly need to navigate this journey and a community of folks who get it. When I've had plenty of people who say when they first started their caregiver journey, they fell into a lot of these scary Facebook groups where everybody was talking, just scaring them half to death with all the awful things that could happen to them. But ultimately, what's there is dementia and caregiving does not have to be all doom and gloom. I think with a simple mindset shift of I am going to look for what my person with dementia can do today and help support them and what they can do today. And I'm not going to dwell on all the things that they've lost already. I'm not going to continuously worry about all the things they're going to lose in the future. I'm going to just simply support them today and what they can do now, it's just a much more positive place to be. And that's what all our community members are really all about, is a bunch of people who are dementia caregivers, professional, distance, have their loved ones in long-term care, are the main caregiver, maybe are a secondary caregiver, like all different types of caregivers come together who are there wanting to learn practical solutions, or who are wanting to help each other get to practical solutions to day-to-day things that come up on the journey. Like there's so like it's just like a whole world of things that you take on. And it just gets more intense when you're in middle stages or late stages. And it just helps so much to not only have a community of folks who are like-minded to you, where if you're someone who wants to uh, look are more a solution-oriented person who wants to think about like how can I improve each day, then this community would definitely be for you. Again, go to dementiasuccesspath.com if you're interested in joining our community. We close our doors on April 30th. Um, yeah, so, anyways, that's something I really wish was talked about more, that more people would plan for. I would say the number one thing, if I could give you guys one tip as far as planning ahead, that would make a huge, 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 huge difference when it comes to how easy or difficult your journey is going to be as a caregiver, is get your loved one to a lawyer's office, to an elder attorney, to an estate attorney. The reason, and it's going to be the very best money you spend, because I'm sure you're thinking, with what money are we going to do that? It, I promise you, I promise you that is going to be like, even if you just all the money you have is like just a consult, which for most places is like 400-ish bucks, it is more than worth it, because uh, it really lays the foundation for everything else. So this applies to you being able to make medical decisions on their behalf, you being able to make financial decisions on their behalf, being able to secure them care and yourself help when it comes to care, being able to place them in long-term care. This all hinges on your legal ability to do so. It's not that easy to take legal sovereignty away from an adult. Uh, True, like it's so much harder if you wait until they are in the latter stages, or in middle stages, and they aren't coherent anymore and can't, in good faith, sign these documents. It's just, it's just so much harder. Oh, hey, Kathleen, welcome. Your videos are always so helpful. My mother-in-law got diagnosed in October, so it's been very stressful, but I've learned so much from your info and how to deal with various situations. Oh, I'm so glad, Kathleen. Kathleen, let me know if you are planning on joining our community, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier, or if you have already. Let me know. I think it would be really, really awesome for you to join us to get that extra help. I actually had Mary Beth come on with me a few nights ago, who is caring for her mother-in-law, and as a distance caregiver. So truly, there is a space for everybody in our community, no matter what type of caregiver you identify as. There's definitely a place for everybody in our group, and it's really, really cool to see. Mary Beth has made a huge contribution to our group because she's a distance caregiver, has a little bit more time than maybe some of like the full time like primary caregivers have. She's been able to lead small groups, like support groups that we have going on. She's been able to uh, really do educating and just do so many amazing things within our community because she has a little bit more time. So there's so many ways that um, you can truly be a blessing as a distance caregiver. And there's so many ways that you can be involved in your person with dementia's life, even if you don't live like right next to them. Like I was saying before, there's like a crazy amount of administrative tasks that go into being a caregiver that no one talks about until you're in it. Like it is absolutely insane. We had a lawyer talk to our group all about just the intricacies of Medicaid and how legally you would qualify for it. Like something called a Medicaid 5-year look back. So what's there is if you in the US right now, and if you want to qualify for Medicaid, you either need to have like a certain level of income that is below a certain threshold, and that threshold's different in every state, or you would need to put all your assets in a living trust. So essentially, just I'm not a lawyer, so again, definitely dig a little further into this with your own lawyers to know for sure. But from what I've learned from the lawyers that have come and talked with our groups, to our group, Dementia Caregiving Made Easier. Again, join at dementiasuccesspath.com. Uh, what they've taught us is that uh, you when you create a living trust, you are essentially making like a family LLC, like a family company type deal, wherein instead of your house belonging to you as an individual, that home now belongs to the living trust, and you are a benefactor. Why this holds off Medicaid? To be honest with you, I just call it like rich people loopholes. So the sooner you know this stuff and the sooner you can get this stuff in place, the better off and the easier things are going to be. You're going to have more resources, and you're going to have more things going for you. Truly, you don't know what you don't know when you start this journey, and just how involved it's going to be, how intensive it's going to be. Additionally, too, what really helps as well, and I can share an example of a caregiver in our community too that got um, a lot of help in this way. But uh, don't be afraid to let other people in, like coworkers, neighbors, people in your community into your situation. And invite them to help in whatever ways they can. I think a lot of people get really caught up in that if someone's not able to come over and watch their person with dementia at home, then that's not real help. But you're really limiting the amount of people that could be helping, and quite frankly, the scope of how much one could potentially be called to do as a dementia caregiver is just so large that it just doesn't hurt to have a ton of people in your corner. So, story I'm mentioning, one of my community members, Victoria, she lives in the middle of nowhere, Montana, and she has a neighbor that also had to drive like an hour there, an hour back to get groceries every week. And she told her neighbor, "Look, I'm just overwhelmed trying to caregive for my boyfriend. It would help me out so much if I could just give you my grocery list and give you some money. And if you could, while you're picking up your own groceries, if you could pick up our groceries while you're there." That saved her 2 hours a week. And while that doesn't seem like much, as your person with dementia demands more and more and more from you, that all that little stuff stacks up. You know, there's all kinds of research, all kinds of appointments, there's all kinds of things that need to be done as far as being a dementia caregiver that is so easily outsourceable. So in our membership community, we have whole guides on like specifically what type of help you could ask of family, friends, people who live close by, people who live far away, like what specific things to ask for, how you would specifically ask them for said help. We have shopping lists of how to dementia proof your house to make sure that your person with dementia can live at home for as long as possible and stay safe. We have expert guides, like occupational therapists giving their tips and tricks on how to dementia proof your home so that it's safe. We have neurologists that have come in and talked about preventing dementia and what diagnosing it looks like. We've had doctors talk about like what medications are most relevant for folks with dementia and what to ask your doctors about. Like literally anything you can think of, we've probably had either I've talked about it as far as challenging dementia behaviors, and since that's more my personal wheelhouse, or we've had an expert talk about it, and we've created either some type of printable, some type of workshop Q&A, some type of educational video on it. Like anything you could possibly need, we have it in there. And in order to help you not get super overwhelmed by the amount of things that you could need, but maybe not need right now, we have you take a quiz to show you things in the order that is most relevant to you so that you don't get overwhelmed by all the information. So you get like a video like a week in our standard membership. As well as, some people, they just really have a super ultra specific situation that they need coaching on. So I also do one-on-one coaching as well for less than half the price that most people will do coaching online. Um, so it's a really, really great community. It's a really great opportunity for anybody who is struggling, that really needs help. So again, go to dementiasuccesspath.com to sign up. Our membership closes for new members for our dementia caregiver community at on April 30th at midnight. So if you're even a little bit interested, we only reopen for new members like once or twice a year. So definitely join us. Yay! Oh, that's great, Kathleen. Let's see. I'm going to join with community access. Perfect. I'm also physically disabled, so trying to learn what I can do to help my husband with her as well. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it is. It's going to be. You're definitely not going to regret it. It's a great community of folks who are they're practical people. There's nothing wrong with like ultra scientific information, but quite frankly, the ultra scientific information, like knowing that there's tau beta tangles in the brain, like is not going to help you when your person is like banging on the back door saying, "Hey, I need to go home." Like it's not going to help you. But our group is. Like our group is incredible. Um while I definitely like spearhead and organize things, like, it's definitely not just me that is doing um, all the teaching. Anything, again, that isn't in my scope, I've probably gotten an expert to do it before, or I'm going to in the future. Every month in our standard membership, I have a new, um, guest expert, or do a deep dive on a challenging dementia behavior. In our workshop series that I have been hosting, the 3 key dementia do's and don'ts, we've done a lot of role play and a lot of me like showing you exactly what to do and what to say. And when I have the folks that come on and practice with me, like they're shocked at like um how much practice it actually does take in order to uh feel like confident in your responses or feel confident in your approach. So it's definitely really helpful to get that continuous like practice and help and all that good stuff. So yeah, again, dementiasuccesspath.com to join. We're closing our doors really soon, so even if you kind of want to join, like you should join. You should definitely join for sure. And like I said, if anybody has any questions on this live, feel free to pop those questions in chat. I'm happy to answer any dementia related questions, as well as like if you didn't make any of the workshop days, fear not. I'm going to be going live on Zoom again tomorrow night, so Tuesday night and Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. If you're already on my email list, then you'll get a notification, an email with that Zoom link. I'll also post it here on YouTube as well, just in case anybody who would like to come can come and ask their question, get advice from some experienced caregivers from our community. It's going to be really, really cool. I think you guys are gonna like it a lot. All right. Yeah. So I'm also going to be back here tomorrow as well on YouTube just to finish up talking about what we talked about on day 3 of the workshop. It was like an hour and a half day that we had on day 3, so it's a little bit longer. So I couldn't necessarily get to absolutely everything on there as well. So around the same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, here live on YouTube. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Well, hopefully, I will see you guys very soon. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope to see you in our membership or see you in our live tomorrow and Wednesday night. Bye, guys.